Alright, so I got the new site installed. Let's take a look at it and see how it looks, shall we? Wait a minute. What the... I was planning to do a series tonight, or I was at least recording the footage for, I was going to showcase doing all the upgrades to my Model 69. I have been carrying this gun, and I figured with carrying it, I wanted to do some modifications to it, change out the sights, change out for a better spring kit, and I changed the grips on it. And it's done, you know, here it is. I've got like an hour of footage, and right as I went to finish off the front sight, which, you know, has to be drilled and then the roll pin reinstalled, I noticed on the top of the barrel, almost, it looks like stretch marks, honestly. I mean, obviously it's not stretch marks, or stress marks, I should say. You know, it's obvious that maybe it wasn't finished correctly, you know, when they were machining it, and then as they finished it before it went for the finish to be put on it, you know. Another mess up from Smith and Wesson. I'm sure everybody saw that the series I did on the Model 29, how that had two large factory defects, cosmetic defects, and here I am again with another very expensive Smith and Wesson and another defect. I actually said in the review, you know, one of the defects that I caught early was, and I don't know how well that'll show up, but I'll put a picture in it so people can see it. The knurling on the ejector rod is boogered up, and when I called them, I've got a supervisor, and I explained it to him, and in the background you could hear the woman even said, you know, I guess they used a wrench to put them on, or, you know, used a pair of pliers to put them on. And, you know, I've got right here, you know, they sent me, I already contacted Smith and Wesson about that, and I've got the new ejector rod to put on the gun. And, you know, I was planning on putting that on tonight along with the rest of the upgrades. I mean, you know, as you can see, the news sites are on it and everything. And now tomorrow morning I get to once again call Smith and Wesson. I guess this will be another series I do, and once again I will record my experience with Smith and Wesson customer service. It should be interesting this time, because last time, if anybody watched that first series, they told me they were really backed up because of the Christmas season, and because it was January when I dealt with it. So here we are, pretty much the middle of spring, you know, getting into summer, so that shouldn't be an issue. So you know, I'm really hoping that, I'm assuming this is going to have to go back. You know, they're not going to be able to do anything without having the gun in their hand. So I'm extremely disappointed with Smith and Wesson, and I can't stress enough for people looking to buy a Smith and Wesson revolver, look it over with a fine-tooth comb. Look over every inch of it. You know, I missed this. When I went to pick this up, I looked it over intensely, you know, and I missed this because I guess, you know, I don't know how I missed it, but things happen. You know, I had caught the knurling being screwed up, and as I said, other reviewers had noticed that problem. I knew it was a common problem. I knew I could get a replacement part for it, so it didn't really matter to me. But this being screwed up is a huge disappointment, and honestly, you know, when I discovered it, I think if Smith and Wesson was open, I probably would have called them and said, I'm sending you the gun and I want my money back. But I am going to contact them in the morning and I guess find out what's going on. So here we go again. Smith and Wesson quality control issues. the sequel.